Hello and welcome to a new video. Today's video is inspired, or it's taken from a suggestion from one of you guys. On one of my previous videos, at Dreamy Musho suggested I redraw forgotten or old OCs. I thought that sounds really fun, so that is what I'm going to be doing in today's video. And the rain's getting heavier. To do that, we need to look through some old art. So I'm starting with this book here. This is sketchbook number 4. It is the first book that I ever made a sketchbook tour on. I've already gone through it to pick out some of the OCs in it, so I'll just be going through and showing you. This one I made back in 2018 to 2019, so they're about 6 or 7 years old at this point. Where's the first one? So this is the first one that I came across. His name is Quince. He is a wizard. This is back when I was into Harry Potter, specifically Fantastic Beasts, and I wanted to make my own character. He does look very much like Newt, so that will probably change. I'm not entirely sure what I'd do with him, but he might be an interesting one to touch upon. And the next one is these characters, specifically this character, but I might do all of them because they are part of a group. I always refer to them as my altered OCs because they're kind of like in a futuristic cyberpunk setting, and I want them to have like altered limbs, you know, like they have robotic replacements. And these are characters that I have actually like tried to revamp multiple times. They are in several sketchbooks, which makes them kind of awkward because they're here in sketchbook 6. That I even made up another new one, so I redrew them here in sketchbook 6, where I gave them more of their altered limbs. And I mean, I was having fun with it. I was drawing them a lot, but they just weren't entirely clicking. I think because there's too many of them, maybe. But yeah, I was enjoying them. I liked the idea of them. They just never really became anything more than, you know, this. They're also here in sketchbook 8. This was when I then went for another look for them, a more updated look. This sketchbook is so awkward. You can see here they're very futuristic now, but I gave up after Iris because this was when I was really starting to phase out of enjoying them. I just wasn't enjoying them as much. And then I believe the last time I drew them was in this one, which is sketchbook 9. Where did I draw them? I think I only drew one of them. I drew this guy, and then that was it. I was like, I don't want to draw them anymore. Yeah, I just said I don't like how they turn out, so I stopped drawing them. So they might be fun to revisit, but because there's so many of them, I'm thinking I might do them digitally, whereas some of the other ones I think I want to try and do traditionally. Then we have these characters here, who I think were basically just Pinterest girls that I drew, but then on a post-it note here, I wanted to turn them into like some kind of creature. So we've got a demon, a spider, and a vampire. And Spider actually has become more of a recurring character. They are in Kara's world. They're best friends with Kara's brother Desmond. So I don't know if I'll draw them because they technically aren't old or forgotten because I still draw them. But the other two I could definitely have a go with. Yeah, Spider was the one that I got the most attached to. I have no idea why. Then I have this page, which was basically just redrawing characters I'd drawn before in like old sketchbooks that like weren't actual proper sketchbooks. Like I would never finish them. They're all packed away somewhere, so I can't find the original pictures for you to see. This one basically was a redraw of the drawing that inspired Kara. But I was thinking from this page, I want to redraw this character who has the half up, half down trousers for some reason. That was something I was into when I was younger. Maybe this character, because I do like the idea of having a a cat box for a head, but it is I feel like it's a very dated design. These two characters are the ones I'm most interested from this spread. And then the last one is this vampire lady. She's very uncovered. I don't really know what inspired her, but yeah, I just wanted to draw the red pen blood thing, I guess. So I might actually combine her with the Pinterest girl vampire, because I feel like that just makes the most sense, because they do kind of, I mean, they have long hair. I might just mold them into one character. But yeah, that is what I'm going to be doing in today's video. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and get as many of these characters done as possible. I'm thinking, honestly, the first one, Quince, is the one that I'm the least excited for, so I probably, if I'm going to miss anyone out, it's probably going to be him. But yeah, that's what we'll do in today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting with this character here, the half up, half down trousers girl. I don't know why, maybe because her design is so weird. It's not that weird, but it just irks me the most. I really wanted to start with her. So I'm doing this in my sketchbook, just in pencil. Because I'm redesigning these characters, I'm not feeling hugely confident on how they're gonna look. So going with pencil instead of what I sometimes do, which is just going straight in with pen or anything, just gives me an extra layer of security. You know, I can mess things up, which I do a lot in this video, so I'm really glad that I went with pencil for this. So I'm just drawing a little version down here of the original design, just to get in my head what she looks like, and I have to say, I actually kind of liked it. The garbage men are outside right when I'm recording. Even with this little doodle down here, I was already kind of liking how it was looking, even though it's still like a really weird outfit design. It got me thinking that a lot of these characters and their designs might automatically look better because of my updated drawing style. Like, I think that was going to help a lot with the choices that I made for these characters back when I first made them, if that makes sense. So already I was really liking this design because I changed like the silhouette shape and the bagginess of the clothes, whereas in the original I'm not entirely sure I knew how to put clothes on someone in a way that I liked. The clothes just kind of were part of the person almost. Like, I didn't know how to make it look like something being worn by someone, which I think is something I've gotten better at. So that I think is going to help a lot with these character designs. So what I wanted to do when it came to redesigning these characters is try and keep as much of the feeling and design of their original drawings as possible. Just kind of update it, but have it be somewhat recognizable that it is the same character. So for this character, I knew that I wanted them to keep the hat, have some sort of baggy top. This time I decided to have their top zipped up. I just kind of prefer how that looks, having the high neck around their neck. I also knew that I wanted to keep the weird trouser thing going on. I just wanted to find a way to make it make more sense, because I wasn't too keen on having the rolled up leg, because like, what's the point? I wanted there to be something for it. So instead I decided to make it so that these trousers have zips, so you can zip one leg off. Which I think is a thing. I think I've seen trousers do that. I just don't always get the point of them, because you then have the edge of the zip, which I made more prominent in this drawing here than I think they would be in real life, but that's just part of the character design, I guess. It's still really strange. I don't think it's a design that I'll be doing again in the future when it comes to characters. It is unique to this character of mine, so that's something, I guess. I kept her with her baseball bat. I guess I wanted her to be like a tough girl, so I gave her, you know, a straight expression, whereas in the original one she's got like a soft expression, a soft face, which I don't think I was going for. Like, I don't think that's what I wanted, but back then I really struggled with expressions, so I just kind of fixed that here. I'm also not entirely sure why I went with a woolly hat. It's kind of a strange idea unless it is winter, but then like, why has she got her sleeves rolled up and why has she got her legs out? That was another change I made. I gave her long sleeves in this new character because I just think it looks better if you're having one of the trouser legs rolled up. I don't think it looks great to have the sleeves rolled up as well. I feel like it's then too similar and it looks like the person is just wearing clothes that are too small for them. So I really liked how she was looking and I wanted to fill the page, make it kind of like a character page. So I drew her again here, and this time she is holding the doll that also featured on the original page. From the original sketchbook. I thought a cute way to tie him in would be to have her talking to him. He probably needs a redesign as well at some point because he actually isn't an original character. He is just a drawing of a plushie that I bought ages ago that I for whatever reason wanted to draw in my sketchbook. So that's what he is. I then also had been talking to my brother and talking about why the hell would she have her leg rolled up, her trousers rolled up or cut off, and he said what if it was because she had like a prosthetic leg or something, which I thought was a really cool idea. Like, maybe it helps her to get to it, to maintain it if she has a zip on her leg, or maybe she just likes having it out. But I thought that just made it so much more unique and gave her a reason to have this weird fashion choice. And I just really like the idea of this character with a prosthetic leg. So I changed it in the second pose, but I didn't change it in the original one because honestly I really liked how that leg looked and I was just afraid that I was going to mess it up if I tried to change it to a prosthetic leg. So I thought, for the sake of this being like character creation so you can see the process, I'll just leave the original leg. I then also wanted to name her, so I went with the name Angie. I just felt like it suited her. And then again I drew the little bunny guy down here so you could see a bit better what he looked like. And he's really cute. I really like how he turned out. Maybe I'll change him in the future because this is technically someone else's design. So yeah. If he becomes a character that I want to stick around, I will give him an update as well. But for the sake of this page, he just looks exactly the same. And I made him be a little like possessed doll, and I gave him the name Merv as I thought that would be really cute. And he's basically someone died and he possessed this doll. I haven't gone further than that in terms of character development or anything, so maybe if this becomes something I will work on that. So then I wanted to colour her in, so I didn't want to mess up the page, so instead I exported it to my tablet and I decided to colour her in on there. I'm using Ibis paint. It's a paint tool app on my tablet, and it was so handy because I could just export the line art from the picture and just colour in under the line art, and so it keeps the hand-drawn look a bit. Also, it lets you export it as a speed draw, which is what I have playing for you here. I do want to say I'm really sorry that the video on the left of the screen is so pixelated and so low quality. Because I coloured this in a portrait mode, it would have filled the screen awkwardly, and I thought maybe having a zoom in on the left side, filling the blank space, would be more interesting to look at. But I don't know if that works or if it just looks really bad. Yeah, that's why I put it there, so that you could have a sort of zoom in of the face, but there was no way to do it without the quality looking like garbage. So I'm sorry about that. But that is her done. As you can see in the digital version, I did change her leg to a prosthetic, and I really, really like how it looks. As for colours, I kind of just went with a colour scheme that I've been really enjoying lately that I don't mean to keep using, is kind of like sunset colours. And that's again kind of what I've gone for here. She's just got some like sunset colours, I feel. Like, it's very with the yellows and the red and orange sort of vibe. That's what's giving me. And I made her hair blue. It was originally like blonde, but it felt like that blended in too much with the hat, and I wanted this colour for the hat. So this is how she turned out. I really, really like her. And as for reference, this is what she originally looked like. Can I fold this without ruining my book? Yeah, sort of. So yeah, quite a big change. As I said, I feel like I've gotten better at putting clothes on a person, so the silhouette just looks so much better here than here. Yeah. Oh, and this guy, yeah. Ta-da! He's this little toy. He used to have like a popper on his head, and he would stick to my window. And he was there for so long that his back has been sun bleached. But yeah, this is Mern. No, this is Merv. And this is Merv as well. So, right. Next character. Okay, so moving on to the next redraw, I wanted to go with the vampire girl, and I also decided that I would draw the demon girl as well. I wanted to do both of them on this page, have them together, because they were together on the first page. I just thought it would be kind of fun. So again, I am just drawing little versions of their original selves, and I'm mostly going with the, not the bloody version of the vampire, but the one that is with the other girl in the original sketchbook. I wasn't entirely fond of the bloodied version, and I wasn't sure how I would draw her without having her be exposed again, I guess, which I didn't really feel like doing, so I lent more to the casual Pinterest girl version. I was a little nervous for these two because their outfits are very, very similar, because they're both literally wearing a beanie, they're both wearing a baggy jumper and trousers. The first girl, I guess, is slightly different because hers is a cropped jumper and her trousers are rolled up, whereas the second girl has her jumper tucked in and just has straight legs, straight trousers. So yeah, that was gonna be interesting. So because I was drawing them together, I decided that I wanted them to be very chummy. They're either really good friends or maybe they're girlfriends. I actually think I'm leaning more towards that they're girlfriends. I just think that would be really cute. I did end up drawing them bigger than the original girl, which is something that keeps happening with the rest of the characters in this book for some reason. I don't know. But it means that they got cut off at the bottom of the page, which was very annoying. like the first one, I wanted to keep them somewhat similar to their original characters. I think I did that more so for the girl on the left than I did for the girl on the right. The girl on the left is the demon and the girl on the right is the vampire. I think because I drew the demon girl first, so I kept her outfit mostly the same as her original sketch. But because I then went to the vampire next, I was like, well, I don't want her outfit to be so similar. So it ends up being very different. It is funny though, drawing these girls together and having them be a couple, because it makes me think I'm kind of falling into a pattern with having a demon character dating a vampire character. That is exactly what I did with Kara and Caesar. I guess the difference is that Kara and Caesar are recurring characters of mine, whereas these two are a redraw and they initially weren't even together. I'm not sure why, I just really like the combo of demons and vampires. For the vampire, I was having a lot of trouble with her hair because I wanted her to keep her long hair, but I wasn't sure how I wanted it to be styled. I debated having it tied up, having it in a ponytail. I wasn't sure, and I ended up going with a half up, half down look where she just has some of her strands of hair tied at the back, and then the rest of it is hanging loose with a couple plaits here and there, which I really like. I think it gives her a lot of character because it gives the implication that she cares about her hair, but she's also really comfortable just having it loose and doing its own thing for the most part, just having it tied back out of her face. Whereas the other versions of her, the original ones, she was just kind of lazy with it. So I guess maybe I should have gone lazy with it to keep it in keeping, but I didn't like how it was looking, so I wanted it to be a little more styled. I gave her this crop top here and I put I bite on it, which I really like, but her hair and Demon Girl's hand does cover it up a bit, so it kind of just looks like it says I bit, which doesn't really work the same way, but it's fine. I gave the Demon Girl a Tamagotchi. I wanted them to be a little more stylized because they were looking kind of basic. So I also put some hearts down her jean trousers, and she has a stripe pattern across her jumper. And it's just a little bit, but I think it helps make her look more interesting rather than like super plain. And then I gave them both drinks because in the original drawing the Demon Girl is holding a drink, so I thought it would be cute to give her a drink again, and then I wanted the vampire to have something to do with her other hand, so I gave her a drink too. Then to fill the space here, because I was leaning into them being a couple at this point, I wanted to draw some Polaroids just to show that they do stuff together, I suppose. And for the first Polaroid, I had it be a zoom in of the vampire's mouth to kind of have it be similar to the bloody drawing that was in the back of the other sketchbook. So it zoomed in on her mouth and her teeth, and she's just got a little bit of blood smearing out of her mouth, and I tried to make it look like one of those, is it like overexposed photos where the lighting is like super harsh, and I really like how it turned out. I think it was really cute. I think it also implies a different side of the character than what we see in the drawing I've done of her on this page. I don't know, maybe she's drunk in this photo, but it was, I like how it turned out. I also tried to add a sort of bloody smear on the Polaroid because obviously she's got blood on her mouth, so maybe her hands are messy too, which gives it a little bit more character. And then for the second Polaroid, I wanted it to be of the demon girl, so I've just got her like pinning her hair back, and there's a fan in the background to say that she was like really boiling, and I think it's cute because it implies a cute life of domesticity. Is that how you say it? Domesticity? Domestication? Of them living together. I just think it's cute because, you know, it implies that they take photos of each other just doing random stuff. And then to fill the page up a little bit more, I just doodled in my little cat character. I just didn't like this blank space, and I thought it would fit because this character is a demon, this character is a vampire, so who's to say they're not in the same universe as Kara? And then I also decided to give them names as well because I gave Angie a name, like it felt like they deserved one, you know. So again, I exported this onto my tablet and giving it some colour. But to start, I wanted to add the rest of their shoes on because, like I said, it all got cut off at the bottom in my sketchbook, so I just wanted to fix that. So that's what I did, and then I went in with colouring. This was tricky again. I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do for colour schemes, so I'm still not entirely sold on the colour schemes of this picture. Their clothing just doesn't look amazing, and my lord, I'm so sorry, I forgot that the quality on the left is really bad. I don't know if I should keep that or not, or if it's fine, because then the drawing on the right is small enough, like I don't know. Yeah, I had trouble with the colouring because I initially gave Beatrice a blue top, but I just wasn't liking how it looked with the rest of the colours on Margot and just in general. So I did end up changing that to a yellow top with pink highlights and then changing the cups to red cups as well. And I don't know, I'm still kind of mixed. I don't know what I would have preferred, what colours. Because I really like her having her, like, khaki trousers. I don't know what colour would have looked better with it. Yeah, so that is them coloured in as well. It's this top here. I don't know what I should colour it, what colour would look better. I suppose maybe like a cream would look nice, but then would it be too similar to the cream stripe on Margot? I'm not sure. Beatrice's character is very, very different from her original design. Like, it doesn't even look like the same character really, but I did try and keep it's very loosely similar, but by keeping her with like cut off trousers, like here she's just got straight trousers that are cut off, except I made hers more flared here. It doesn't really feel like the same character, but I much prefer her. I think she is a lot better than when I drew her here and when I drew her in the back, wherever that is, here. But yeah, so I think that's it for them. Okay, so now I'm putting some sheets in. I thought I'd show you to protect my previous pages because I get asked a lot, how do I stop my previous pages from smudging? That's how I do it. So we're moving on to our third redraw, which is technically our fourth character because the previous one had 2 characters. I am actually redrawing Quince, even though I said that I was maybe not going to, but I did struggle as much as I thought I would because he has got quite a basic design. He's just a dude in a suit, and the suit happens to be pink, but that's about it when it comes to what's interesting about him. Again, drew a little version of him down here, and I really liked how he turned out, and I was thinking, I don't know what I would change. He's just, because he's just a dude in a suit. So I had a lot of trouble drawing him, because it basically turns into, this is less of a redesign and more of just an updated drawing, just him in my current style. Although you may have noticed, but these characters have been looking younger perhaps than I typically draw characters. I don't know why, I was just struggling with faces when doing this video. None more so than this guy. He was such a pain to draw. I just couldn't get his face to look right, and he is just, he's a lot younger than I want him to be than his original drawing. Like he looks like a baby, but I struggled so much just getting a face that I liked, and ultimately I kind of just give up, and I'm like, yeah, he's just gonna be a young guy in this picture. I think I give him an extra layer, and that's about it in terms of changes. He gets like an extra jacket underneath his long coat, and he's just very basic. He is still a wizard, but he is no longer in the Harry Potter universe for obvious reasons. He is not going to be in that. So he is going to be in, I guess, my own magical universe. I don't want it to be in the same universe as Kara and the demons and all that, because then I feel like it's all like a bit too much. So I think he would be his own character in his own universe that has a magic system. And I was thinking a bit about it, because he has a wand, but I don't want it to be that like you only have magic because you have a wand. I want it to be the kind of thing where like pretty much everyone has magic, but it is extremely difficult to tap into, and the wand acts as a amplifier, or it's a way to control it and focus it into one thing and help you actually use it the way you want to use it. So it means it's not impossible to use magic without a wand, but it is very difficult. It's very uncontrolled and chaotic, and it can have perhaps not the outcome you wanted. So that's typically why people will use wands in this universe. I also wanted this guy to specifically be a magical detective. I think I wrote that in the original book, and I really like the idea of that he is like solving crimes. It can be both magical and non-magical, and he is perhaps not the top detective, like perhaps he works underneath someone, but he does a lot of like fun, dangerous missions. But I do also really like the idea of it being not an entirely magical world. Like there are people, I don't know actually. I was going to say I want it to be where there are people who don't know magic exists or don't have any magic, but then I like the idea of everyone being able to tap into it. Then it would also mean that you don't have to hide it. So maybe everyone is aware of magic, and it's just a matter of if people are capable of doing it themselves or not, and then those are the people who need looking after a bit more, and the differences between them, I don't know, maybe not everyone is, maybe you need like a permit for a wand and not everyone qualifies. I don't know, there has to be a reason, I think, because otherwise it's like everyone walking around with like a gun or something. I'm not sure. The reason why I put the paper behind, there was a lot of smudging from the previous pages I'd drawn, which would have otherwise ruined my page before it if I hadn't put a scrap piece of paper down. So that's why I do it. And now I have moved on to colouring phase, and all I knew is that I wanted him to have a pink theme, which I then also thought blonde hair would go really, really nicely with. I think he's got more like strawberry blonde hair than straight blonde, especially with how I shaded it. And then I wanted him to have like soft brown clothes, because I didn't want it to be harsh black suits, but I also thought the brown would look quite nice with the pink. And yeah, I don't know why I went with pink. I just really like it for some reason, and that is how he ended up. He has a pink tie, a pink coat. I mean, I like him. Like I said, he's not that much different from my original drawings. It's just more of an updated style. So this is what he originally looked like. As you can see, I struggled a lot with drawing hair, especially in this picture here. And down here, it's still messy. Yeah, I much prefer how he looks updated, but he just looks really young. He's so young looking, and I think I want him to look older, but if I ever draw him again, I will try and make him look older. So we are now moving on to the last character for this video. I decided I wanted to draw that weird cat looking character with the box head because I don't like it. It's very... I just don't like it. But I remembered really liking it when I first drew it, so I wanted to try and just give it an updated style, which I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to do, and that shows in the footage that you are about to see. I am once again drawing a little version of them down here, which just solidified how much I don't like this design anymore. Like, I think the drawing turned out kind of cute, but I just still really don't like them. So yeah, I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to do for them. I think I thought about, do I give them like a TV head? Do they have like a digital mask that changes? And I did end up leaning more towards going for a more fitted mask rather than a weird cardboard box on their head. Yeah, I don't like the idea of that because it can so easily just come off. You could peek under it, and I think the whole point of this character is that they don't want to be recognized, or they want to keep their face hidden, and that's probably also why they don't speak. Like in the original one, they're holding signs up, which is literally just a thumbs up and a thumbs down, which is very limiting in what they can say. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to stick with them being mute or if they're just gonna speak with a robotic voice or what. But as you can see here, I am trying out this cat mask and I've given them a hoodie and I hated it. It was maybe worse than the box head design and I just couldn't stand it. I was getting so frustrated. So I decided to scrap that and try something else. I wanted to go for a robotic but more cat looking head. So I drew it from the side here to get the cat profile a bit better, and I end up really liking how this drawing turns out. It looks completely different from the original character to the point where it really isn't the same character at all. Like, I've given them proper clothes that have like interesting shapes in them that I really like. It's got a lot of things that I like lately, where you've got like oversized layers over slightly smaller layers. You've got tassels on the arms for some reason, but I still really like. Combat trousers, combat boots, and I also gave them a loose sort of belt thing hanging off the back of their trousers to kind of look like a cattail sort of thing. I just wanted there to be more shape to the silhouette, and I really like how it looks. It looks like a modern, I don't know, like a futuristic design, whereas the other one is just someone in baggy t-shirts, leggings, and a box. So in the space next to them, I wanted to draw their mask face on, and I could not. I was having so much trouble with it. This kind of design, for me personally, is a lot easier to draw from the side, I've realised. And when I was trying to draw them from the front, I just couldn't do it. I kept doing things wrong. None of it was making sense, and I think I was just going for too sculpted of a look. So I tried to make it more boxier, and remember that this is like a helmet that is supposed to be on someone's head, which helped. I'm still not a huge fan of it, but I was just struggling. This day I could not draw for whatever reason, so this is the best that I could do. And to kind of mimic the sign thing from the original character, I gave them it's either a whiteboard or it's like a tablet thingy, you know, a digital tablet that you can update what it says, but I just put "you need to leave" because I was getting frustrated. And I ended up naming them Callie because of like calico, for like a calico cat, which I really like. I think it suits them because it's a cat name. So I just went and cleaned it up on my tablet because the lines were very messy because of how much I struggled. And I just needed to make it clean. And then for the color scheme, I just wanted to go really simple. I wanted to leave it as just like a couple colors. So primarily their color design is cream, red and black, and then I just added shading and hues or whatever to each element of their clothing, and I really like it. I think the simplicity really helps with the design because there is more going on here than the original picture, like I said, so it could very easily just get messy, but I think just sticking to these colors and picking a couple elements here and there that are these colors really helped with readability for it. So yeah, that is her done. She was the worst of them. She is the one I struggled with the most, which I think is very obvious, and she is the most different from her original source than all of them. I'm glad I did it though, because I do really like this drawing here, and I really like her color scheme. I think it's really pleasing. It's pleasing for me to look at. I'm glad I gave her a go, even though I almost gave up so many times. As you can tell, I didn't do the altered characters because after drawing this one, I was just so burnt out. I was really burnt out. And with how much frustration those characters have given me in the past, I was thinking this would be really bad for my mentality to push myself to draw them. I really enjoyed making this video though, don't get me wrong. I just think maybe doing 4 was too much. Maybe, well, because it was 5 technically. If I was to do this again in the future, I think I might break it up and do less characters and do more videos. Does that make sense? So less characters per video, but make more videos so that I cover them all. But that's only if you guys like this kind of thing and if you want to see more, because I wouldn't mind going back through my old sketchbooks and updating just characters that I haven't even thought about in years. I think that could be quite fun. And then seeing the change between them. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, and it's something that I will try again at some point. The altered characters, I think, would probably need to get their own separate video, and I'm not sure what design I would go based on. But I'm really glad that I did it this way, having them drawn in my book and then colouring them digitally. I think it took a lot of pressure off of how much I was struggling, because like I really liked how Angie turned out initially, to the point where I wanted to add colour, but I was scared of messing up her drawing in the book. So this was like a really nice workaround where I got to give them colour and see what they would look like without there being much consequence. So yeah, I want to say thank you to Dreamy Musho for suggesting this idea. I think it was really fun and a really nice challenge to do to test myself. So yeah, again, let me know if this is something you would want to see me continue in the future. And I want to thank you for if you made it this far in the video, and also a huge thank you to my Patreons: Disby, Finn Carter, Grimclow, The Waffle of Life, Non-Toxic, Saint Nix, LP, Kira May, Kay, Joanna, Mila, Pretty Rotten, R.A. Foxy, Joanna Snake Moon, Humble Frogs, Local Fishkeeper, Mold Ghoul, Farrar Ware, Sun Arts, Molly Marula, Scout Radley, Sammy Bear 127, Kenzania, Jade S, Arrow, Charlie, Malorus, Cindy King, Art by Lavender, Angel of the Woods, Rainbow Tea, Breaded Nuggets, Learns, Human Eye, The Moth Bug, Nox, Catbird House, The Tormented Shadow, Sweet and Hopeless, Pocket, Jordan's Tiny Planet, The Coffee Rain, Black Jackal Art, Leela Loves You, Faith, A. Wendu, Koza Scobbs, Wolf and Wares, Ronnie, Olivia Gadbor, Heather F., Cheris Needham, Rotting Lettuce, Binexary, Cyrus Orion, Lolo, Brianna McGraw, Malbon Designs, Gamut Girl, Dodo, Catberry Studio, Solar Tortoise, Auden, Red S Lily, Hayley, Sienna G, Lady Ratbird, Fia, Greenfinch G Illustration, Lynn, Cody, Pobbles, Kaleidoscope Arm, Cloud, Cleo, Redders, Ziutka, Chelsea Amson, Beetle Ghost, Artsy Ghost, Melisandra Sinclair, Hurrier, June, Dakota Garcia, Elithra, Manon, Lily Likes Art, Rona, I Am a Yertle, Levi, Kira's Cozy Corner, Tink, Daniel McGuinness, Janine, Dios Live, Ella Chenchuo, K2, Flossie, August, Stegosaurus, Yoinks, Soundly Manners, Stoyan, Bleety, Chloe, Starry Fern, Kiki, Nuclear Nail Bomb, Brianna, P. Wright Stuff, and Rake Norway. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and I should hopefully have another video out for you all soon.